Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Jim Feist Pro Football Handicapping Show here at Don DeMarco's Pizzeria and Wine Bar on the patio at 9785 West Charleston Boulevard here in Las Vegas on a beautiful day here. I'm here with a couple. And first and foremost, we are live on both Don DeMarco's YouTube channel and Proline TV. Text your questions or comments anytime during the show. Our undisputed champion of handicapping, Jim Feist, is here next to me. If you see like he's not just nodding and not talking, he's dealing with an allergy issue. Hopefully we can get you through the show. And if not, then just feel free to skip out, man.
So I have to kind of speak and not say words, and you can read my lips.
We'll do that. And I got two people next to you that can help me do that. One has been a friend of the show for a long time, been a guest on the show. From VSiN, the Sports Betting Network, Matt Youmans. How are you, man?
I've got allergies too, but I will try to talk my best without coughing like Jim is.
And next to you, 30 years experience in leadership, the head of trading at Boomer Sportsbook, oversees everything from odds creation to risk management across all sports. Welcome in Nick Bogdanović. Nick, welcome to the show.
Yeah, nice to be here.
All right, let's get into it, guys. We're going to start some stuff out, and we'll get into some games as we go, and then we'll take some questions at the end. There's no undefeated teams left in the NFL heading into Week 6. First time since 2014. And the Jets are the only winless team left in the NFL. And I want to start there. Denver is going into the Jets. The line 7.5 and 43.5. Matt, I want to go to you. To me, this line seems low. Is it low to you or no?
No, I don't think it's low. Necessarily. No, it's not. Is this thing off?
There we go.
There we go. That's all. I wouldn't say the line's low. I don't think it's a great spot for the Broncos. Second week on the road after a big win in Philadelphia. Outscored the Eagles 18-0 in the fourth quarter. Don't typically like to bet on a team, lay a bunch of points off a big win like that. And I know the Jets look bad right now. They got the 31st scoring defense in the NFL, which is next to last, obviously. But I would consider the Broncos, I think, for a play this week on a teaser or money line parlay. I don't ever like to lay more than 3 points in the NFL. So I'm probably the wrong one to ask is a 7 or 7.5 point line too low.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I totally agree with Matt. 7.5 on the road, coming off a monster win. I mean, that was a win that they needed to say, hey, we're real. And believe me, they were geared up for that. The Jets are looking for that first win. I mean, they're just bad. Everything about them is. I'm really surprised because I thought Aaron Glenn would really turn this team around, but it just hasn't happened.
That's why I asked if it was low. Nick, that's what I want to ask you. The line, the total's 43.5. I just thought this might be a double-digit line.
Yeah, I think Matt said it perfectly. The spot's horrible for Denver, but have zero interest in being on the Jets side. I mean, Aaron Glenn looks lost. Their defense is the absolute worst. You know, I've always been a Fields guy, but I'm not so sure anymore. I like Wilson and Breece Hall, and I think they have weapons, and I think they can score a little bit, but they're between the leadership from the head coach and their defense. It's a pass for me just because the spot's so bad for Denver, but I do think Denver will handle their business.
Nick, I want to stay with you. Cincinnati's trades for Joe Flacco after losing 3 without Burrow. Is this going to help Cincinnati at all?
No, it's hard to believe that they got him. They made him the starter the very same week. I mean, it's not going to learn the system. It's not going to help them one bit. I don't think. Browning, he's got a high upside and a real bad low side because he turns it all over a lot. I mean, he's a gunslinger. He's like Favre. He'll throw it into trouble, but he'll make big plays. But they got more issues than the quarterback issue. But no, I don't think getting Flacco is going to help him any.
Matt, the line's at 44.5 total. I know that's a big number. Most people aren't going to play that side, but is the total something you might look at? Or is this a pass game?
It's going to be a pass game, except for in Survivor contest. You're going to have a lot of people playing Packers. The problem with that is you want to hold the Packers back for Week 9 when they host the Panthers, too. So if you have multiple entries, you don't want to use them all on the Packers this week. I agree with Nick. I don't think Flacco helps the Bengals one bit. I can't believe you're going to trade for a guy, and then 5 days later he's going to be your starting quarterback.
Well, Flacco's been around the league for as long as I've been alive, it seems. But he knows how to play. He has a great arm. He can throw it deep. He can throw it short. They have some weapons on the offense. Their defense is horrible. And one of the things that I like about teams that can put up points, especially, I mean, if they're down 21 something, and Flacco's back there and he's still standing and alive because their offensive line is terrible, they can put up some extra points. And that's why these kind of teams like Cincinnati, I like to bet them over. And not just the team, but the entire game. Because I think both teams will put up points. There's nobody going to stop each other especially if Green Bay gets in a big lead and they just sit on it. You're going to see Flacco and companies put up points, and those wide receivers want to get some action. That's what they're getting paid to do, and of course they're all pissed that they're not doing it.
Nick, I took a look at the NFL's power rankings, and they have Detroit now at number one, who leapfrogged the Bills and the Eagles to claim the number one spot. Before we get into the line in this game with them playing Kansas City on Sunday night, what do we learn about Kansas City, if anything, on that Monday night game with Jacksonville?
I think writing KC's obits is way too soon. I think they'll be just fine. I mean, they outplayed Jacksonville. They should have won the game. I think they outgained them like 470 to 340, something like that. But I mean, Lawrence made an incredible play at the end of that game to win it. So I think KC will be just fine. Somehow they got to find a way to win this Detroit game. They don't want to go to 2-4, but if they get to 3-3, they'll be just fine. I mean, the Chargers are leaking oil.
Mm-hmm.
Denver's not as good as they look, and obviously the Raiders are the Raiders. So I still think KC is going to be pretty tough to beat in that division.
Do you think Detroit's the number one team right now?
I do.
You do?
The spot's horrible for them this week because they're getting KC in a foul mood and triple focus. But I do. If I had to choose one team on a neutral, it probably would be Detroit.
Matt, what do you think about this game with the line 2.5, and it started at 51.5, now total up to 53?
A little bit surprised that Casey's taking action here. It looks like early. Nick could probably talk about what bets he's seen, but I thought the early money would be on the Lions here. Like you talk about the number one power rated team in the league. A lot of people want to fade the Chiefs. I agree with what he said. I think the Chiefs are going to be fine. They got one of the best defensive coordinators, maybe the best in the NFL, and Steve Spagnuolo, and they've been right there in the games they've lost. So I think the Chiefs are probably in a better spot this week off the loss, and that's the way I was leaning. But that was when the Chiefs were 1 point favorites. Now I see it's up to 2.5.
2.5.
At most spots, which is a little bit surprising to me. I don't know if I'll do anything with the game right now. It's ironic that after week one, everyone wanted to bury the Lions.
Right.
Going out in Green Bay. And now you're talking about 1 month later, the number one team in the NFL.
Nick, hold on, Jim. What kind of action are you seeing on this game?
Yeah, I think we opened pick and it's up to 2.5. So, like I said, the spot calls for it. And I don't, obviously 3's an auto take, but I think you'll see this game close 2.5 too.
Okay. Jim, you got us on this game?
Well, the Lions clearly, to me, are the best team in football. I thought they were last year. They got hit with all those cluster injuries on defense. I still see them being the best team, AFC or NFC. And tough spot. I mean, you're going to get Spags or Reed, but you can only go down that road so often. I mean, as far as roster-wise and the momentum, and, we don't give a lot of credit to the Lions coach. We don't talk very much about him. And they lost their offensive and defensive coordinator. They lost their center. And they're still out there playing some damn good ball. I think it's about time we give them some credit on the coaching side and the teams. I like Detroit, period. I'm not going to lay the points or take the points in this game. Now, if it gets over 3, I'll be there.
Now, you said before you're a big Andy Reid fan. Is he better than Andy Reid?
Ooh,
Coach from Detroit, yeah.
Campbell.
Well, eventually, everybody's going to rise to the top, and the older guys will fade away. It's the way life is. I mean, it happens in baseball, happens in basketball. It happens all over the place. I mean, the old go out and the young come in. I mean, that's the way it happens. Andy's up there in years, and we used to talk about Bill Belichick as the best thing since sliced bread. Well, he's not the best thing since sliced. Maybe he is sliced bread now, but he's not doing too good.
You know, Jim, I want to stay with you because when I saw this, I'm like, this is a perfect question to ask Feist on the show. What is your take on your favorite owner and Jerry Jones apologizing for his obscene gesture towards the fan? He said that was inadvertent. Did you guys see that? You saw that, Dan?
I did see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think he was obviously flipping off the fan, right?
Yeah, he was flipping off a fan.
So
Jim, what do you think? I mean, I know he's your favorite owner, Jerry Jones. I mean,
Well, is there any class left anywhere? I'm talking about the culture. We're
in the whole product?
in the whole country. I mean, we see a lot of stuff going on out there that we would have never tolerated 30, 40, 50 years ago. We're a different country now, and they're changing the rules all the time. So I'm not shocked at all.
Nick, sticking.
Do I think it's correct? Do I think it's good? No.
And I haven't seen there been any kind of fines or anything brought down from the NFL, which I think there probably should be, unless there was something I missed.
what's that on Jones?
On Jones,
I think he got 250,000.
that's what he got.
I think so.
I just want to know why the Cardinal coach got fined $100,000 for doing something he needed to do.
Good point. Nick, with you in this, staying with the Cowboys, going to Carolina, they're a 3-point favorite. It was at 3.5. It's at 3 and 49.5. Do you like either side in this game? I mean, the Cowboys can put up points.
Yeah, definitely. Link. I mean, it's Carolina or nothing for me.
I don't know what that was.
Sorry.
All right.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh. The Cowboy defense are always in this thing for sure. I mean, Carolina played a nice game last week against Miami. They got gained them 420 to 280. Bryce Young got a little confidence. Obviously, Dowdle ran wild on Miami. I think they get Chuba back this week as well. So we'll have full force offensively. And if they need to, the back door will be wide open. I think it might need be. I think they have a really good chance of winning this game. So,
You want to sit?
yeah, Carolina +3 looks like the side for me.
Matt, you got something on this game?
No, I would agree with that too. Dallas defense is, if not the worst in the league, close to it. It would be Panthers or Palace. I thought the Jets might be live against the Cowboys. I know there were some sharp money on the Jets last week, but that team's a lost cause apparently. Panthers, I think, could be live dogs here at home. Cowboys back on the road should be a decent spot for the home dog.
I've got a weekly thing, and I said it last week. I bet the Cowboys over their team total every week, and I bet the game over every week.
Sticking with it?
They have the best offense and the worst defense. And I said it last week. If the Jets can't score against them, and unbelievably, they couldn't for a long time. So that's how bad the Jets are. No, but I believe what the gentleman here to my right said. I totally agree.
So, Jim, let me stay with you and ask you this. Patriots lose their running back and Antonio Gibson out for the year with an ACL. A lot of injuries in the NFL with key players on key teams. How much does this hurt the Patriots?
Well, there's a lot of running backs out there that you can bring in and replace. I mean, you have to know the schemes. You got to be smart with the ball. You got to hold. There's a lot of things that have to. It's about coaching. You got to have backups because this league is a very physical league, and you lose players every week. You lose them every day. You lose them in practice, and it hurts them. Anytime you lose a star player, it hurts. But if you lose a leading quarterback, that's even more so. So the running back, I think you have a little bit less on that.
Nick, how much did this move the line, if any?
Oh, yeah, Gibson means 0.
Okay.
Nothing. I mean, Ramondre's playing well. The kid from Ohio State will step in. So, yeah, Gibson's 0.
Line's at 3.5 and 46 total. Anybody here got a play on this? Matt or Nick? Matt?
No, I liked the Patriots a lot last Sunday night in Buffalo. But off that win on the road, I don't think this is a good spot for the Pats. I think Pats probably win the game, not going to lay the points. And I'd agree. Running backs are replaceable. And Travion Henderson's probably the Patriots' best running back. And he's not fumbling like Ramondre Stevenson has been. But I don't think those guys are worth anything to remember. And this Patriots team, I still think it's going to be a two-horse race in the AFC East, and the Patriots have a shot. They got a shot to run down the Bills. I think they're going to get better and better under Mike Drake.
Good point. Good point. Jim, let's go to Thursday night. Eagles at the Giants, 7.5 line, 40.5 total. Do you like either side, or do you like this? What's your thoughts on the game, first and foremost?
Well, first of all, you do have a rookie quarterback out there. He played decently in game one. He looked okay in game two for a little while, but he's a rookie. And you get your defensive coordinators, they get a lot of tape on them. They get them on film. They say, hey, this is what we have to do to stop this guy. We know who the better team is. And the question about Philadelphia is why the hell don't they get the ball to their wide receivers, especially one is really a tremendous player. Some very questionable coaching there and play calling. They have made some changes in the offseason, so maybe that's the reason why. This is far and above, far and away the better team. But this is a division home dog. And that you're not going to make a lot of money playing against division home dogs, especially with this kind of a line over a long time.
Matt, being like Jim just said, this is a divisional game, and it's the only game on Thursday night. Does this change anything in your mind with the lines on the line, on mainly that the Giants might come to play a little bit more just because they're the only team on that night?
There are some things I like about the Giants, but I really don't like them in this game. And in fact, what's interesting about Philadelphia, it's a 4-1 team has been outgamed in all 5 games. And I thought last week, it's funny, Ray sitting back there in the back, see Ray in the sunglasses. He knew I was on the Broncos last week. When they were down 17-3, he sent me a text and, hey, the Broncos bets not looking too good, buddy. And they came back to win the game with 18 unanswered points in the fourth quarter. I felt like this Philadelphia team was going to be a fade team. There were going to be spots here where you could beat the Eagles, and that was one on Sunday with the Broncos with that fourth quarter. I don't trust the Eagles laying this number on the road because their passing offense is so out of sync right now. But again, the Giants have major problems on their offensive line, and for all the hype around Jackson Dart, he really has not played that well. He's a rookie. He barely passed for 100 yards in the first start when the Giants got that win. And there wasn't much to the Giants' offense last week. In fact, they turned the ball over on 5 consecutive possessions. This is one of those games I think bookmakers like Nick are going to see a lot of teaser action on the Eagles. Would that be right? Thursday night with the Eagles about 7.5.
Yeah, that'll be a key teaser game for sure.
Nick, on this game with Thursdays, do you get more action on Thursdays than do you on Sunday night games?
No, Sunday night's a lot more. Just
Lot
because
more.
I mean, you got the extra 3 days of shelf life. So, and plus the Sunday night game, people are either trying to get out or they got winnings and they're betting higher. So Sunday night by a landslide.
Let's get into Sunday. San Francisco to Tampa Bay. The line is 47.5 total. Nick, I'll stay with you. This seems to me like this could be a toss-up game. What's your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, open 3 down to 2.5 and a little Niner money. Baker Mayfield is the story. I mean, he's the man, MVP. It doesn't matter how many people are missing. Irving's out, doesn't matter. Mike Evans is out, doesn't matter. You see it in playoffs last year. They had a lot of people out. He still produces, so he's the man right now. Darnold may come back this week, but I don't think there'll be any rush to get him back. I mean, they're 3-0 under Mac Jones and seem to be playing a little better with him back there. So I think it'll be Darnold's job when he's healthy, but I think it'll be one of those things. They'll make sure he's 100% before they bring him back. Got zero opinion on the game, but I'm not looking to go against Tampa. That I can tell you.
A couple of days ago, might have been yesterday. Probably still find that Baker Mayfield around 12-1 to win MVP. I think that's a bet. Oh. Also, I don't really have a play on this game, but Rick is back there in the corner sitting by Al Scally. Rick's a sharp bettor, and Tampa Bay is one of his favorite plays this week. So take his advice.
Jim, are you going to play this game?
Well, I'm a big Tampa Baker Mayfield fan this year. I picked Baker and the Bucks to get to the NFC Championship game. I have 28-1 on Baker to be most valuable players. That was in the summer. I mean, I didn't hide it. I said it to everybody who was online. He's playing with, and you know he was going to be good because Cleveland cut him. Traded him. I mean, anytime they do anything, you got to go the other way on it. I mean, Cleveland does that all the time. I mean, the guy's playing with passion, and he's accurate, and he's feisty, and he plays hurt. And I mean, they got players out, and those guys are coming back. I mean, this is a good team.
I'm a Tampa Bay fan. I enjoy watching them every week, and I'm a big Baker fan. I hope you're right. I hope we get to the NFC Championship. I would love to see that. That would be nice to see.
Excuse me.
Jim, let me stay with you. Rams going to Baltimore. 7.5 is the line. 44.5 total. What is going on with Baltimore?
Crash and burn. I mean, this is.
Is it panic time in Baltimore?
Well, there's something wrong. I mean, they have a tendency to blow big leads. Now, of course, they don't get big leads because they're hurt too much. They got a lot of injuries. McVay is not going to be happy the way his season has gone and some of the losses they've had. And they had a couple losses recently that kind of embarrassing for him. He's a good coach. And I'm not saying anything about John Harbaugh because he's a good coach too, but they are really banged up. I like the Rams. What kind of line are we looking at here?
7.5.
That's a tough number to lay. You might take a couple 7.5 teams and use them in a teaser, like tease them down. That might be the angle for it. I just don't see. I don't see Baltimore playing with them, but I'm not going to lay 7.5.
Matt, is Baltimore one of these teams where this is what we're going to see from the rest of the year? They're just kind of fading away into misery.
No, I think at some point you're going to see the Ravens rally, kind of pull things together a little bit when Lamar Jackson comes back. It's going to be so much interesting right now is you can still get the Steelers at about plus 120 to win that division.
Oh,
Who's going to win the division?
it's a good point.
It's not going to be Cincinnati. It's not going to be Cleveland.
It's not going to be Cleveland.
No.
That's a good point, though. It's got to be Pittsburgh. Nick, do you have a play on this game?
Well, if Lamar and the 7 defensive starters are still out, you're going to see exactly what you saw the last 2 weeks. And the Rams coming off that brutal loss to Frisco and a couple extra days to prepare. I think LA will go into Baltimore and hammer them. If you watch the Houston-Baltimore game, I mean, Houston, most inept vanilla offense in the league, they got 44 and they could have got 70. So you just can't play in that league with 7 or 8 defensive starters out. You just can't. I don't. Obviously, they're going to start getting them back one by one. But this week, it's still up in the air for Lamar and the starter.
Nick, with you, I want to go into Seattle, going all the way to Jacksonville. Jacksonville coming off the big win. They're a 1.5 favorite, 47.5 total. How much does it affect you guys look at it with Seattle going from one side of the United States to the other?
Yeah, it means something. Just means something. 3,000 miles, long way to go. Your body's on a different clock. Especially the West Coast teams going east, if they have the early start, really no picnic. But they're professionals. You can try to overcome it, but sometimes you can't.
Matt, is this a game that you'll play Seattle? Or are you going to play Jacksonville? Or you stay in the West?
Well, I actually kind of like Seattle in this game. I think off a big win, the next game you want to look to fade teams like the Jaguars, and that's the biggest win they've had in a long time. And also, if you look at the Seahawks, I don't think a lot of people realize this, but Seattle's 5th in the NFL in scoring offense, 29 points a game. Off a home loss that they let get away. Seattle's 1.5 point road dog here. By the way, the Seahawks have been better on the road than they have been at home recently. And also, this is probably a good teaser option if you like those teaser Seahawks up to plus 7.5.
Jim, you got a play on this game, or is this pass for you?
Well, I agree with everything Matt said on the teaser side, especially. Which I like to see the Seahawks better. However, I'm a little bit surprised at how well Lawrence is playing. He seems to blend in with his new coach. Liam Cohen was with Baker Mayfield last year. It seems to be working. Now, that last play was great. It was like a head fake. He falls on the ground and gets up and runs it in. I don't think they practiced that, but it worked.
I don't think he'll get away with it again.
Well, Anyway, I agree with, Seattle's been very impressive. Coming off the loss, they're gonna be dangerous. And this is the big win that Jacksonville had, and they're gonna probably have a little bit of a let.
Jim, I want to stay with you. Cardinals going to Indianapolis. Indy's a 7-point favorite, 46.5 total. I think the Colts are one of the more surprising teams so far this year. Do you like either side, or do you like a team total, or is this a teaser game?
Well, this is one game I probably would lay the points. Colts.
Like the Colts a lot.
Yeah, I like the Colts. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Murray, I've never been a big fan, and they kind of let it. Did they? They didn't even kind of let it go that game away. I mean, that was ridiculous how they lost that game last week, especially against the team they lost it to. Now, will they bounce back? Of course they can. But I like the Colts. I like the way they're playing. They're very aggressive. The coaching seems to be working. They got a running game. They got a passing game. Indiana Jones is playing out of his mind. I like them.
Matt, is the Colts the team you take in the Survivor poll this week?
So Colts are a team I'm considering for Survivor this week. I think Colts are the most surprising team in the league. A really sharp bettor who thought they were going to be one of the worst teams in the league. Right now, they're number 3 in scoring defense, number 2 in scoring offense. Think about that right now, where the Colts are with Daniel Jones at quarterback. A lot of people are pissed off at the Cardinals right now, and I understand that because a lot of people got knocked out of Survivor with the Cardinals. It's not a team you want to get behind. It's the Hall of Famer Jeff Whitelaw got knocked out with the Cardinals.
Yeah.
I know plenty of others who did too. It seems to be a low IQ football team. And, I said this before, you're not going to win big with a midget at quarterback. And Kyler Murray's just not a guy you're going to win big with.
Nick, is 7 a good line? Do you like this? Do you like laying the 7 like Jim does?
Yeah, it opened 6.5 and the early raised the Colts to 7, but it looks like the exact same spot as last week. The Colts were 7 against the Raiders. I liked the Raiders last week, and they absolutely got their doors blown. So
What does this mean?
Arizona is the only side I have, but because of that, I'm a little cautious. And plus, things in Arizona a little turmoil this week. How are they going to respond to that loss? I mean, the worst loss in the history of professional football. So, and everything's, and Matt said, the Colts are obviously them and the Jags are the 2 best stories in the NFL going. The Daniel Jones redemption is absolutely incredible. So everything's going their way. So when things are lining up, and it's, you hate to step in front of that. Obviously, at some point they'll come back to the pack a little, but the way Arizona's going, they're going in 2 opposite directions. So I'm not going to jump in, but Arizona plus 7 is the only side I'd have, but I probably won't get there.
Total.
Total in that game's 46.5 total.
I bet it over. I think you're going to see perfect conditions indoors. You're going to throw the ball all over the field. Arizona doesn't have much of a running game. The 2 guys are out. And Murray's, much as I don't like him, he can throw the football. And you're going to see some points in this one.
Hey, Tommy, Mark Sanchez will not be calling this game.
That you can take to the bank. That's the best bet of the week right there. Matt, I want to stay with you. 2 teams that seem to be just leaking oil terribly are facing each other with the Chargers and the Dolphins. Lions at 4.5 and total 43.5. Is this a game you stay away from, or is this a game that you could possibly take the home team on?
This is an odd game because I think everything sets up well for the Dolphins here as home dogs. Most things set up well in terms of situational handicapping and matchups because the Chargers have a bunch of injuries right now. They went into the season, or at least the preseason, with 2 of the best young tackles, offensive tackles in the NFL with Sean Slater and Joe Alt. Both have been out. Offensive line's all banged up. Justin Herbert doesn't have much time to throw. He's got no running backs now. The rookie Omarion Hampton's out. He's on injured reserve. They're down their top 2 running backs. They're deep, and they lost Khalil Mack. They've lost guys on defense as well. But can you bet the Dolphins? It's tough to do.
That's the question.
When you listen to Mike McDaniel talk, he babbles incoherently. if he interviewed for a job at Del Taco today, he would not get hired. I don't know how the guy's an NFL head coach. So do you want to back him against Jim Harbaugh? That's tough to do. But
Well, we were talking earlier. He might be home for Thanksgiving with his family. He may not be coaching by then.
But he's coaching this week, though. It's hard. Everything, a lot of things point to the Dolphins here, but you have trouble betting Mike McDaniel against Jim Harbaugh. That's what I'm hung up on.
Well, a lot of times people forget about the fact that who's coaching these teams, and it does matter. It matters a lot. You get a good head coach, good offensive, defensive coordinator. They make adjustments week to week, and that poorer coaches don't make. And when you get, like Matt said, I mean, it's an enormous situation for McDaniel to beat Harbaugh. But the problem here is we do have to look at these injuries. And you cannot ignore the injuries in the NFL. Just so many of them. It's like a mass unit out there for some of these teams. And when you start losing 3 or 4 guys off your offensive line, your quarterback's not going to be very good. He's going to get hit a lot. He's going to throw some passes he shouldn't be throwing because he's under pressure. Excuse me.
Nick, what are you seeing in action in this game? Are people going for the Dolphins?
Early, yeah, I mean, it opened 5 and went to 4, but I'm with Matt. I was looking to play the Chargers here, but their offensive line is absolutely crippled. And to me, that's the whole key to football is how well your offensive line plays. I'm not too worried about the 2 running backs. I mean, Vidal and Haskins, they're no great shakes, but the offensive line is the big concern. So, but I want nothing to do with the Miami Dolphins, but without those offensive linemen in for the Chargers, not interested in winning 4.
Matt, you had said the Steelers are plus 120 to win that division. They're at home this week against Cleveland, laying 5.5 total, 38.5 low total. Is this the game you take Steelers and lay the points?
Considering Steelers are for Survivor too, haven't the points yet, but thought about that Steelers 5. I see 5 out there at a couple spots. They're 14-4 off a bye under Mike Tomlin. They've won 21 straight regular season home games against the Browns. And this situationally is probably the best setup for any team of the entire season. Steelers are off a bye, and the Browns are coming back from London. So I think a lot of things point to the Steelers here as a play. I haven't made it yet, but I'm considering the Steelers as a survivor play this week too.
Ray, you got a question over there?
Yeah, I do have a question. Multi-layered here.
That's a shocker that it's not just straightforward.
This is a 2-team parlay, and then probably grab Denver and Pittsburgh, unfortunately. But my question is this, and it's to you in the city of Cleveland. Why do you keep doing this shit? In order for you to be a quarterback in the AFC North, you have to be 6 foot tall, at least 6'2". I don't care if you're a shit can. You got to be 6'2", because you're going to get hit by Pittsburgh. You got to be able to see over the line. Those guys are 6'8", 400. You're going to get murdered in the snow. Manziel, terrible. Baker just couldn't make it there. 6 foot, went to Tampa, thrived. You know that story. Wonderful. But here we go again with an 5'11" quarterback on a lake in Cleveland. Disaster. So my question is this: I have a pretty big future. Bet Cleveland to start over 2.5 quarterbacks. Do you think this is still live for the rest of the year? I need one more guy.
There's no doubt about it. Shedeur Sanders is going to start for the Browns, and I would say probably in November.
There you go. Take it to the bank. Go cash your ticket.
Fantastic. Do you think Gabriel has a shot at thriving in Cleveland, considering his height and all at all?
Not really.
Yeah. Let's get in the 2 Monday night games. First one, Buffalo at Atlanta. The Bills are a 4.5-point favorite. 50 is the total. Jim, first off, thoughts on the game, and are you going to take a side?
I like Atlanta.
You do?
It's a great spot. Excuse me, I'm having trouble with the coughing.
Yeah. You like
I
Atlanta?
think the Bills have flaws on defense. Atlanta's sitting in a good situation, home dog. The Bills are not invincible. There's no really invincible team in the NFL unless you want to look at the way that the Lions have played the last couple of weeks, if that can continue. But no, I like Atlanta, and they're in a good spot. I mean, taking points at home, coming off, and the Bills are vulnerable on the defensive backfield. So I think that this is a good spot for them.
Nick?
Yeah, no question. I'm a sucker for a team coming off a bye, home dog as well. So that really lines up with a lot of things I look for. Only problem is you're catching Buffalo off a loss, so they'll be a little angry. But yeah, it's Falcons or nothing for me.
Home dog or pass here, probably going to pass in this game because I don't like to bet against the Bills off a loss. But if you look at the Bills, they've got wins over the Ravens, Jets, Dolphins, and Saints, four of the worst teams in the NFL right now.
All right, let me stay with you, Matt, on the other game, which Bears and Commanders. I don't know what to think of this game. I don't know how to get a feel on this game. Washington's a 4.5-point favorite, total at 49.5. It was at 50. What would you think on this game?
I'm tempted to bet the Bears here if this is the revenge game for last year when the Commanders won on the Hail Mary. And when the Bears lost that game, that started a 10-game losing streak for the Bears. I believe they were 2-2 at the time. Then they dropped 10 in a row with that Hail Mary loss at Washington. Jaden Daniels has got a knee brace on. That's a little bit discouraging as far as the Commanders go. He's not going to be as mobile. He's not going to run as much. Bears are off a bye. And I actually like Ben Johnson here coming off the bye. I think that might be a dog I end up playing this week.
Nick?
Yeah, no real opinion. Lean over here. I think you'll see points in this game. Whatever reason, these isolated games seem to go over. I don't know if they get the memo from Goodell or not, but I do think that Jaden will be. I think he looked fine against the Chargers. I think his knee's pretty close to 100%. So I don't know how long he's going to roll the knee brace, but I think he's fine. Obviously, it'd be nice if we got McLaurin back this week, but definitely looking to play over in this one.
What about you, Jim?
I would agree with the over. I'm not a big Caleb fan. He still has to prove to me that he can play in this league. But I do see a lot of points. I like the offensive coordinator there. And I think down the road you may see the quarterback not make it for, except maybe as a backup. But I do like the over.
Before we get into the audience have any questions, I saved this for last just because we have two teams at 1-4, the Titans and the Raiders, which might be two of the worst teams in the NFL, going against each other. It's 4.5 is the line, 41.5 total. You got anything on this, Jim?
Yeah, you got. What's the over and under on ratings? The TV ratings. I want to bet it. I want to bet under.
You want to bet it?
I want to bet the under.
I can't imagine this game would be.
I know Bernie or Ray must know the number. What is it?
We're all slappy, so we're all gonna watch.
Yeah, I can't watch that game, Bernie. I cannot watch that game.
Well, fair.
Fair. Nick?
No, I mean, I had the Raiders last week +7, but if it gets cheap enough, I may come back with them. I think the defense will hold Tennessee down in this game. I see Tennessee getting 230 yards or less and not too many points. I think the defense will come up big this week for the Raiders. Now, whether Geno will turn it over is another story, but this is the type of game where I think Jenny will get 20 carries and they'll win this game somehow, some way. This thing opened 6 and was down to 4.5 on its way to 4. So if it gets cheap in the Raiders.
I like the Raiders a little bit here too, and in fact, like Nick said, I like the Raiders last week. That's the worst bet I've made this NFL season. Raiders were an embarrassment last week. I know Bernie Fratto's over here. His best friend JT the Brick said that the Raiders are going to be a playoff team this season. Raiders are not going to be a
He
playoff.
doesn't have a vested interest. He'd pick him against the 76 Steelers. He laid 2 touchdowns.
He's got Super Bowl futures on the Raiders. No, it's very disappointing. Raiders have played Geno Smith.
Yes.
And I never thought he was going to be the answer. I hated the contract that the Raiders gave him. $40 million this season, $18 million if they want to buy him out for next season. It's $58 million for Geno Smith, and he leads the NFL in interceptions right now. But this is a circle of the wagons type of game for the Raiders. A lot of negativity around this franchise right now. I think these coaches are going to be focused to get this turned around a little bit this week. And don't forget the Titans. Should have been down 28-6 to a crappy Cardinals team. This is a bad Titans team. With a rookie quarterback on the road for the second week in a row, I do think you're going to see a big effort from Raiders. I agree with Nick. If this line drops a little bit more, I'll probably be on the Raiders.
I think the Raiders got some fool's gold after week 1. They thought they might be a little bit better than they really are.
Amen to that. But I do think Tennessee is definitely the worst team in football. That they should not. I don't know how the hell they won last week. No.
I think there's people in Tennessee. I'm not so sure how they won last week as well. Any questions from the audience? Yes, Scott.
My question is for Nick, but before I get to that, a quick comment. I happen to be in the minority. I agree with Jerry Jones. I've been slipping off Cowboy fans, giving them the bird for decades. I meant to be fine. Big fan. Years ago, Scott Pritchard here. Years ago, you had a great, unique, innovative contest. ATS against the number at the Strat. You gave everyone $100,000 imaginary bankroll with juice. The guy that took first had 10 entries. I had 1, came down to the last game, as it often does. I took third. My question is, such a great, unique, innovative contest, eliminating the tie, why have we not seen something like that?
That's a good question. Yeah, that was a good contest, no doubt about it. That's probably the truest form, build your bankroll. That takes away all the shenanigans, but yeah, something to keep in mind. I'm glad. I totally forgot about that. That was 2000, so that was 25 years ago. So maybe we'll have to bring that back. But Vegas is really a good contest town. I mean, obviously the Circa is the king of contests, but the college contest, which I ran at William Hill, is a good one, and now the Westgate's sort of taken over. It's a good contest. The last man standing at the stations is a good contest, but you're right. That was a very good contest, and I'll have to bring it back.
Great.
I'd love to see that come back. That sounds really good. Contests. I don't know who wants to fill this in, but last week was a bloodbath. All the contests in town. Anybody have the numbers on what?
I just had a question.
Go ahead, Bernie.
You're finished with your statement.
Does anybody have the numbers on what happened in those contests? I mean, everybody got eliminated.
60%, that's
Right.
That's survived.
60% went down.
But yeah,
Circa Survivors started with 18,400, is now down to 4,646 after last week.
Oh,
And Matt has 5 of them.
That's right.
Bernie, what's your question?
well, first of all, don't feel like the Lone Ranger, man. I have to get on the Raider class.
You must
Felt like it was a class of 28-24 game. They wrote Geno Smith off. He ain't right back. He rolled back. I also had the Arizona team total over 24. We had like 21 points going into the second quarter. The DeMarco. Okay, I digress. Not a good week. So I don't like parlays at all because you need 2 outcomes. But I want to run this by you guys because I think it's a pair of fades. It's worth hearing about. So you talked about the Jets earlier. 0-5 team, only 0-5 team in NFL history not to commit or produce 1 turnover. Never happened. Happened in 1933 when the league was called something else. Justin Fields is not only 14-34 as a starter, he's 0-26 when his opponent scores 20 points. I think Denver can do that. Pair of that, now you mentioned Pittsburgh and Cleveland. You got a rookie, his first true road start. And Tom was actually 13-4 coming off the bye. He's won 8 in a row by an average of 8 points. And when he's at home, by an average of 11 points. What are your thoughts? Again, I hate parlays because you need 2 outcomes.
Wow.
A money line parlay between Denver and Pittsburgh. Should pay about even, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I've mentioned that earlier, though. I would consider playing the Broncos on a teaser, considering the Steelers.
I think that
But if you're playing, yeah, the money line parlay would probably be a better option because what you have to pay on 2-team teasers, right? So you're talking about a money line parlay with those 2?
I'm considering it.
Yeah.
Because it's more of a fade on those, their 2 opponents for the reasons I just gave. And again, parlay players, it's a straight line to hell. But you need 2 outcomes. But this is one of those classic fade 2 chip dog.
Actually, I wrote down a list of teams I was considering for money line parlays in the NFL this week. I got the Broncos, Steelers, and actually Raiders on that list.
Other questions out there? Yes, go ahead.
Just the Arizona game, Kyler Murray is no cinch to play this week, so be careful with that.
Kyle Murray's no sense to play for the Arizona game.
Full.
Oh, yeah. Got it. You know that?
Yeah, I know he's a little banged up. He's a tough kid. He's played through a lot of injuries. So I read that before I came over.
There's something to
It was
watch.
a little gimpy.
Any other final questions, Scott?
Real quick, for anyone and everyone, great show once again, 5-star, rock star, superstar lineup for this panel. Everyone's high on the Lions. I'm not. Not high on Dan Campbell, not high on the Lions. They already went on the road and lost the division game to the Packers. Their schedule moving forward, very challenging. They're a short dog this coming weekend at Kansas City. Are you still that high, knowing that they could be, forget top team in the NFL, which to me is laughable, but let's just say they're number one in the NFC. They're an eyelash away from being a 5 seed where they'd have to go on the road, outdoors, adverse weather, knowing that that division right now between them and Green Bay is a coin toss.
Anybody want to take that, Jim?
Well, that's very true. It's early. We've only gone through 5 weeks in the 17 of them to deal with. So, you can't put a crown on them. But you can say up to this point, they look like the best team. Up to this point. Are we going to say the same thing in week 7, week 8, week 9? I don't know. And I'm not going to say we are because, last year, they were the best team going into the last 4 weeks, and they lost all their defensive players. They had 13 guys on the IR. So a lot of things can happen between now and the end. I'm not going to make that prediction.
Get yourself better by next week. Get your allergies under control. I hope you feel better.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate
We
it.
want to thank Jay Laura. We're going to be giving away some bottles of wine as soon as we get off the air here live. So stick tuned and we'll announce those winners. Next week, we got 2 individuals that are both here with us. One being Bernie Fratto and the other one being Jeff Whitelaw will be here with us. But let's give a round of applause to this week's panel of Nick Bogdanović, Matt Youmans, and the one and only Jim Feist. My name is Tommy Canale. I'm the host of the show. Good luck on your bets, everybody. We'll see you next Wednesday here at Don DeMarco's Pizzeria and Wine Bar.